Previously on Backpacker Diaries.
So a bit of a gnarly climb here. This section of trail gets so steep that it actually has a chain to grab onto. Another beautiful day here. I'll enjoy it while it lasts, as the forecast for later this week is supposed to be rainier than this. Today's November 1st, 2018, and I've got a Currawonga to greet me here at my tent platform this morning at new Pelion Hut and campsite. It's a bit of a frost on my tent, but otherwise pretty dry and really not as cold as I thought it was going to be. We're still deciding if we want to go to the Kia hut, the very next hut, or perhaps the hut after that, Bert Nichols. We'll just see how it goes. There's potentially some rain in the forecast today. It's going to either be something like 9 kilometers or a little over 18 kilometers to get to that next hut. There are some optional side trips that are extraordinary, but probably not in the cards for us with the steep scrambling that's involved for this trip. So I'm packing up my tent, gonna get some breakfast, and get back on the trail. Those Currawongas sure make a racket. Yesterday I was hearing a story about how some folks actually wear gaiters as protection from snakes in Australia, rather than rain more so. We did see the tiger snake on the last trip. The snakes here in Tasmania, all 3 of them are known to be venomous, but not aggressive unless they're cornered or otherwise, provoked or agitated. Kind of for the same reason that I went with a lighter weight Patagonia rain jacket and not the Gore-Tex. I also skipped the gaiters as well. I do have the rain pants on board, but probably not so useful against a snake bite, of course. Haven't seen any snakes yet on this trip, but there are a couple folks that have, including a pair of copperheads by the old Pelion Hut yesterday. So I'll be definitely keeping an eye out as I walk along the boardwalk here for those venomous snakes. After enjoying a stop at Pelion Gap there, where the junction for the side trails are, including the trail to Tasmania's highest peak, up to Mount Ossa, is located. Ended up meeting Petra at the Kia hut around lunchtime. Because it was still only midday, we decided to continue on to the next hut, Bert Nichols, which goes up and over, I think it's called Duquesne Gap. So now that we've passed the second waterfall optional side trip junction back there, we're about to start climbing up and over Duquesne Gap and down the other side to get to Bert Nichols. It was a rainstorm, but the canopy of trees here kept us dry for the most part. A couple hours more of hiking and we'll be at the next hut. We'll see how we go. Today's November 2nd, 2018, and we found that the Burt Nichols Hut was way more crowded than the bubble of hikers that we had been traveling with previously. Right after dark last night, a large storm kicked up too, with thunderbolts and lightning. Very, very frightening. And for today, we've bailed on the idea of making the side trip to Pine Valley, and we're just gonna get up to the Narcissus Hut near the ferry dock there and try to call and see when the next available ferry is back to the Lake St Clair Lodge. And we'll see how we go down the wet and muddy trail today on the Overland Track. We did make it to the Narcissus Hut here near the ferry jetty and found out that indeed the 1 o'clock ferry was booked and the 3:45 ferry had no bookings, which means it would have been $300 minimum to catch that ferry. So with that, we will ask around and see if anybody else is interested in splitting that cost or stay the night and walk out tomorrow along the lakeshore. I will say this has probably the nicest toilet that we've seen so far. Still composting toilet, but also has running water, which was pretty extraordinary to have inside the toilet. Usually the running water, which is luxurious in and of itself, is located outside the toilet, so pretty nice. In regard to the weather, we've seen a very nice change indeed. Mostly sunny with a few clouds in the sky as I make my way down to the jetty, where that ferry to Cynthia Bay by the Lake St Clair Visitor Center is located. Today's November 3rd, and as you can see, we picked up a little bit of snow last night. I was happy to be in the hut, even if it was just about full. Even a couple of folks stretched out on the dining room tables there.
Still snowing, it's got a bit on me then.
Oh, just now?
Yeah, still coming down.
Did you capture some interesting footage out there on the helipad?
Yes, I did. It's scientifically, I just scientifically measured it to be 1.5 fingernails deep, and there you go, there's the snow. It's starting to snow now.
That deep, huh?
Yeah. Oh, for me, that's deep.
Yeah, right?
I don't see much snow.
Yeah, there's definitely some puddles on the path to the bathroom here that were not there yesterday. Fortunately, the boardwalk has some traction on it. And it's still snowing a bit now, actually. Every one of the huts also has a helicopter landing pad, which can double as a nice sort of sunbathing opportunity, but not this morning. We had the opportunity to book a couple of spots on the earliest ferry today, heading out from the Narcissus Hut back to the Lake St Clair Visitor Center. So we took that opportunity, and we'll be heading out on that first ferry, which leaves at 9:45. Feels a little bit like cheating, but if we can cheat our way around having to hike through more sort of roots and puddles, especially when it's snowing like this, I'm happy to get back into Hobart a little bit earlier and secure our lodging for our next few nights. It's been quite a trip, all things considered. Really enjoyed it. My first big hike down in the southern hemisphere. Of course, it's been luxurious as well. given the hut system here and all the very nice people that we've met, including Troy, Jenny, Kevin, Angie, Roger, Brizzy 5, which includes Laura, Xander, Xavier, Emma, and the others. Special thanks to the Park Service for maintaining such a excellent hut system and trail system here on the Overland Track. That's all for now. See you next time.
On the next Backpacker Diaries season finale.
He's clearly played this game before.
As I went down, and at some point, all of a sudden, that striped, lighter colored sandstone appeared on the left, whereas before it had been all that darker, rust colored on the right.
The fiery wave.
Ooh, that was a big stretch.
Good time to not have tight-fitting pants.
Yep.